Get back on number 1 from here. Got it? From number 8 back to number 1. Under the guidance of our navigation, we were now heading towards Kusatsu. Are we still okay on money? Yeah, we still have 30,000 yen or so. After we'd hit that clothing store, we'd only spent money on convenience store food. Why? What's up? And do you want to get on the tollway? The tollway? Why? Can't we get there through the normal highways? Well, yes, we certainly can up until the very end. But for the final stretch, we have to get on the tollway for a while. Ah, I see. So that's how you get to Awaji Island. Dun, 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 dun. I didn't know it that well, but apparently in order to get there, we'd have to cross some bridge called Seto or something. Then get on the bypass from Kusatsu. Got it. Will do. Under her direction, I went from the Seta interchange to the Meishin Expressway. Compared to all the roads we've been on so far, it was obvious that this was what a real expressway was. No traffic lights, a beautiful perspective. It seemed pretty simple to even a beginner like me, but as I got onto the rightmost lane, I could hear a terrific sound behind me. At first, I had no concept of a passing lane or anything, but as I got used to it, the expressway was almost fun. So... someone's trying to pass them, okay, fair enough. That's a pretty incredible car. Some car was passing us by at terrific speed, and without thinking, the two of us exchanged glances. And sure enough, from her passenger seat, she was looking somewhat different from usual. While usually she'd be staring out the window into the distance, today she was looking around at other cars with great interest. Speaking of which, she knew a lot about cars for some reason or another, didn't she? I pointed at the car that had just blown past us. Hey, what kind of car is that? It's just a quiz to pass the time, see? A Toyota Celica GTS. And the one we just overtook? A Citroen Zara. Wow, you know a lot. To tell the truth, I didn't know whether she was right or not. I love it. She could just be saying random names and he'd never know. But it was really pleasant to hear words coming from her usual silent lips, so I kept plying her with questions. The blue one is a Mazda Yunus, and the red one is an Alfa Romeo. She even told me about the two cars that were just passing us now. But I'm willing to bet you don't know what that is. I pointed to a truck, not a car, as I spoke. This is a truck. I wanted to see a little perplexity seep. Perplexity? Now, is that a real word? If it is, I'll have to start using it, because that is wonderful. Perplexity. I wanted to see a little perplexity seep into that expressionless face of hers. So you don't know trucks that well, then? Nissan Atlas 10. Oh, wow, you're incredible. Silently, he's like, fuck, I thought I got her. I'd been planning on teasing her, but instead she'd gone straight over my head. Isn't that level of knowledge something to be proud about? Really? Yeah, I think you could toot your own horn about it. Toot toot. She had no words in response, but it felt like she was blushing a little bit. So she loved cars after all. Then when we get there... Do you want to try driving? What? But I don't have a license. It'll be fine. Driving along the beach will be fun, don't you think? If we went all the way to Awaji Island, then there would be lots of places without any people, and this car had a stick shift, so I thought she might have fun driving it. If you want, I'll teach you. Although, to be honest, I'm a complete beginner myself, and let me tell you, for all of the people who can't drive manual stick shift, try and learn that it's a process. It is an arduous process, and it is a right pain. Okay. Oh, she said yes. Good. Oh, we're on the next chapter as well. Woo! Okay, right. Echo. Just going straight in. Here we go. Whoops. Echo. Bosh. Let's just move that out of the way. around when the high-flying sun slowly started to drop into shadow. The silver coupe speeding along the tollway. Before long, the Katsuragawa parking area. A short break, a change of pace. Want to stop at the next rest area too? Huh? Oh, okay. What's wrong? I guess I'm a little worn out. I see. And that probably wasn't unreasonable. She'd been pretty energetic a while back, and that was taxing on patients as sick as we were. Then I'll go buy something for you. Okay. I'll be back in a second. Thud. I rushed over to the snack stand and picked up a few things no different from the standard convenience store fare. Here, a Picari sweat and rice balls and potato chips. Oh, okay. Her response was the same as ever, but she didn't start eating at all. Under usual circumstances, she'd already have torn into the potato chips by now. Are you okay? Could it be that you're not feeling so well? It's just that I'm out of medication. Oh, I see. So she was out. I'd been scared of that. And yes, when we'd escaped from the hospital, it was obvious it was going to happen. To be clear, it wasn't as if we were intentionally leaving meds behind, but I hadn't even thought about it up until now. I hadn't even had the senses to think about it. When did you run out? Yesterday night? So you'll have been off them for 24 hours pretty soon. The doctors had told me that I could go on without my meds for 2 days or so. Maybe she was the same way. When I thought about it, it had already been 8 days since we'd left the hospital. And given the amount of meds I'd brought with me, I could see the end of the line coming into view. Just, what was I supposed to do? Hey. I don't want to be on 7F. Yeah, I know. You don't want to be at home either. Yeah. The silver coupe in motion once again. Eventually, I got off the tollway at the next exit. I didn't know how that was going to change things, but it wasn't as if staying on the tollway was going to help. Oh, God. Come on, things were going so well. You can't do this to me, game. Jesus. I headed into an urban area from the one tollway exit. And I looked for a pharmacy attached to a large hospital, not to a small private clinic. Probably it would have been best just to go to the hospital, and for any normal patient that would have been obvious. But we were inhabitants of 7F. The ID bracelets around our wrists were white, not blue, and we were escapees from 7F at that. I circled around the neighbourhood as I held those thoughts in my mind. Probably we'd find what we needed at a pharmacy near a large hospital. Found it! A university hospital at a major intersection, and a couple of pharmacies clustered next to it. I figured that this was as good as it got and stopped the car in a vacant lot. Hey, give me your medication bag. Oh, okay. She handed the bag over to me with a curious look on her face. I looked into that bag and took out the medication list therein. This was just what I needed. Alright, I'll be right back. Leaving her in the car, I ran towards the nearby pharmacy. The automatic door slid open and I walked in. I headed directly for the counter. Now. Welcome. A middle-aged man came up to the counter to greet me. Probably a pharmacist, given his white coat. Could I have these drugs, please? Yeah, of course. Just a moment. With the medication list that I'd given him, he retreated into the interior of the pharmacy. Probably this was a pharmacy affiliated with the hospital, not just your standard mum-and-pop outfit. I'd gotten my meds dispensed from places just like this back when I was attending outpatient clinics. After all, it was right next to the hospital, so this place should have the meds we needed. Thanks for waiting. Here we are. The pharmacist had come back after a short time. He was holding 2 plastic bags, each of them full of medication bottles. With that amount, we'd be fine for now. That would probably last her for a week or so. When I took out my wallet from my pocket... Oh, may I see your prescription? Prescription? Yes, these are prescription meds. Your doctor did give you one, yeah? I'd forgotten about this. These were no ordinary meds, so I couldn't just waltz in and buy them. Is something the matter? Oh, well, as I stammered and stuttered, the pharmacist looked on with suspicion. Wait, that's... And then he noticed the white ID bracelet on my wrist, the letters inscribed on it, my name, my blood type, and the name of the hospital. Oh... Ow! The medications that he'd left on the counter, I swiped them up all at once. Oi, stop right there! He shouted at me from across the counter, but that was to my back. I'd already started sprinting. Only 5 meters to the door. My legs were weak. I was wobbly, but I kept running nonetheless. When I was about to sprint out the slowly opening door of the pharmacy, just then... thud and crash. Ow! Damn! My senses whited out for a second. I'd hit my head on the edge of the automatic door so hard that apparently the glass of the door had shattered. Dizzy, almost syncopal. I've never run across that word in my life. What is that? Almost syncopal. I forced open the half-closed door with my hands, and then I broke off into a dead sprint. I did not once let those medications go. I was so out of breath that I felt like fainting. Only a few more meters to the car, but it felt so much longer. Nobody was giving chase to me, it seemed, but I didn't have the time to be looking behind me anyway, because if I got caught, then what would happen to her? Would she wait for my return, forever alone in that car? I ran for dear life with those feelings at heart, staggering, short of breath, saddened that this was all the strength I had. I collapsed in the driver's seat and floored the pedals. I was forced to realise that I was even weaker than I was at the pachinko parlour. When I checked myself in the rearview mirror, there was blood on my forehead, maybe from a glass shard. Well, hopefully the bleeding would stop soon enough. I applied pressure as with a tissue as I drove.